Yo, shalom, shalom. Happy Sabbath. Grace and peace be unto the 12 tribes of Israel. Brother Rick here. And today we are going into why doesn't God stop bad things from happening? We always talk about bad things happening, and we always either look at it and say it's coincidence, or we just say God's messed up because he did it, or my fault. There's option C. God's watching the whole thing and not doing anything about it. So the question we always have is, why does God allow bad things to happen? Or why doesn't he stop them? Why don't he step in like the magical police, you know what I'm saying, and beam down Scotty and, take out who does it or apprehend them, make them disappear, whatever it is. Why doesn't God do anything about it? We'll talk about that. Let's go ahead and go the shout outs to everybody that's in the lesson, and then we'll get ready to start sending word up to the Most High. All right, and we got Destiny in the building. Hey, we got an empty Sabbath today. We got it's all right though. We good. Hey, the word of the Lord coming out. Oh, don't wait. Sarah said, I'm joining in. She just now ran in from the parking lot. She had to put her head wrap on. So that's what happened. That's what happened. She here though. She here. All right. All right, we got Christine in the building. Grace and peace be with you. Happy Sabbath to you. And Victoria's in the building. Shalom, shalom, happy Sabbath. So let's go ahead and let's get to Matthew. Matthew chapter 26, verse 6. Hold on. Oh, and I see Sean and Xavier just joined. Grace and peace be with you. Hey, he said slow motion better than no motion. That is definitely it. Slow motion better than no motion, because at least slow motion means you're making progress. Hey, yes, exactly. You know what I'm saying? And Quail, brother Quail in the building. Grace and peace be with you. Shalom, shalom. Happy Sabbath. Happy Sabbath. All right, let's get Mark chapter 20. I mean, not Mark, I'm sorry. Matthew chapter 26, verse 6.
This is Matthew chapter 26 and verse 6. Now, when Jesus was in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of precious ointment, and poured it on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, To what pose is this waste? For what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor. When Jesus understood it, he said unto them, Why trouble ye the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me ye have not always. For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also that this woman hath done be told for a memorial of her.
So whenever we bring out the true gospel of Jesus Christ, the gospel that's spoken to the 12 tribes of Israel scattered all over the globe, the gospel that tells us to keep the law, statutes, commandments until the day we die. Not just the law, statutes, commandments that we want to keep, but the law, statutes, commandments that we understand is given to us by the Most High God himself. When we understand we got to keep these laws, we do our best to do them, then the Lord is going to, oh, hold on, wait. Oh, man. Hold on. Oh, said Donnie's mic's not working. Man, that's weak. I don't know what's happening. Let's see. Hold for a second. Yeah, so hold on. So you can hear my Chantel, but you can't hear this. Let me see. Put it in the middle. Yeah. You probably can't hear it in the thing.
You said what? Hello.
What's that look like now, Chantel? Oh, by the way, while we getting that, I'm gonna go ahead and shout out to who's in. Katrina, see you in the building. Happy Sabbath. And Chantel, which we already know you're here because you letting us know, hey, the sound ain't working. All praise to the Most High. Yeah, here we're gonna discontinue the mics altogether for now. Hey, let me see if it's coming in again. Yes, it's coming in through here, but can't go a little bit. Say something again.
Shalom, Israel, the 144. Can y'all hear me? My sheep know my voice.
Good. All right, cool. We got it in the middle. All right, cool. Hey, hey, Chantel, how's it sounding right now? Is it sounding all right? You good? All right.
She said,
Yeah, low. All right, cool. And I can't get the mics out all together. Huh? Good now. All right, cool, cool. All right, let's go. So as long as we, all right, well, I can leave it in the middle and we go from there. We'll see how it goes. Where we at? Matthew 26. Oh yeah, never mind. Anyways, so we're gonna go into, like I said, the understanding why God doesn't stop bad things from happening. Go to go to Malachi chapter 3, verse 14. We'll start off right there. Malachi 3:14. And shalom to everybody on the TikTok. Oh yeah, yeah, go ahead.
this is the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 14. Ye have said, it is vain to serve God. And what profit is it that we have kept his ordinance, and that we have walked mournfully before the Lord of hosts?
See, many times what we do is we tell ourselves, we say it's useless to keep the commandments. What does it benefit? What's the purpose of it? How does it help us to follow the law, statutes, and commandments? That's usually the question we're gonna ask. But we have to realize that we shouldn't be sad to do that. We should not be displeased. We should be glad to be able to serve the Most High. Okay? Yeah, yeah. Nah, I saw it. Yeah, so I'm gonna break the scripture down and get to it. So we should be glad to be able to serve the Most High. And if we're glad to serve the Most High, then we get to change things. We get to make a difference. But when we're not glad to serve Him, when we're grieved, then that's when we don't bring about good fruit. We bring about rotten fruit. And what we're gonna do is we'll do it for a little bit. We'll follow what He says, and then after a while, we'll just tail off. The last bits of what we do will be terrible. It'll be trash. It'll be like the most whack production. Like if we making burgers, you know what I'm saying? Anybody ever seen SpongeBob? They used to be like, hey, why is he so good at what he's doing? You know what I'm saying? He had like the episode where he's like, what they say, he's doing it with love, and he's and then you try to do it with, you're not doing it with love or with happiness or with true joy. That's what's going to happen. It's going to be a terrible product. So that's what happens with when you do things that are grieved, and when you're actually saying to God, hey, what's the benefit of it? You're not really just understanding, hey, it's benefit to actually just serve the Most High, to please Him, to follow His instructions. The benefit is, first of all, Him not taking you out, Him not removing you because He brought you in this world, He can take you out. Now, that's one benefit. The other benefit is understanding that everything He tells us is going to be right because He is all knowing, all wise. It only makes sense logically for the creator of you to know what's best for you. So we get in our minds that it's not what's best for us. You know what I'm saying? So we have to change how we think. If we don't change how we think, then we're gonna be the one saying that, hey, we've done all these things, and it says we walked mournfully before the Lord. See, here's the thing. It's basically saying I was miserable to be your servant. That's like having a child. It's like I was miserable growing up in your house, or having a wife. Like I was miserable being with you the whole time. It was an awful like you know what I'm saying. Imagine as a husband being that, and she's just like she's never happy. She's miserable with you. She's always down. She's depressed. It's like, dang, I'm a terrible leader. I don't please you. I don't make you happy. It's like, dang. You kind of lose motivation to actually even want to provide, protect, and do for them.
Well, when we was talking about a bunch chat, how we used to get whippings because our parents told us to do something, but we did it with attitude. And we just got a whooping, and they're like, go wash the dishes. And then we stomp into the kitchen, and then you like clinking the plate. And the next thing you know, you get another ass whooping. You're like, dang, I got a 2-for-1.
Yeah, and I didn't even want it, but but you did want it when you showed that terrible action, when you showed that bad, that you didn't show any type of appreciation for instruction, or you didn't show any respect or reverence for who was giving you instruction. You know what I'm saying? You was like, why I've walked mournfully before you, and it's terrible. You know what I'm saying? And we should not be like we walking mournfully before the Lord. Now, of course, at times we will feel like there will be suffering at times, but while we're suffering, we still should be like, matter of fact, yeah, let's go ahead and get there real quick. Because he says, even in our times of suffering, go to Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verse 2. So, right, 2 and 2. In fact, actually, start at verse 4. So, right, 2 and 4.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 2, verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully.
See, whatever happens to you, be glad about it. You should have the mindset that God is good all the time. And all the time, God is good. They said that in the world, but actually, it's actually true. We should always think God is good all the time. So whatever we take it cheerfully. Read on.
And be patient when thou art changed to a low estate.
He says, when you change to a low state, when you are brought down low, when things are going bad, be patient means endure. Take your time. That's why it says it. Take your time. It's like cool. The storm will pass. You have to just trust that God will get you through it. But if you're sitting here like, hey, what purpose is it? Let me read that again. Verse 14. He said, it's vain to serve God. And what profit is it that we've kept this ordinance? What is the good in it? Because you're basically saying, I can't see it. But you're not gonna see the end goal. You know why? Because God is the only one that sees the beginning from the end. He sees that. We don't see the beginning from the end. He does. And our vision is through the lens of the Most High. Like I was talking about earlier, we got to see the world through God's eyes. We got to see it through His eyes. So, go ahead.
Because it kind of answers.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, let's get it.
This is verse 5 in Sirach chapter 2. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
So, and that's what he says. Gold is tried in the fire, tested in that fire. And if you're acceptable, you'll make it through that adversity. But if you're unacceptable, if you're not desired by the Most High, then guess what? You ain't gonna make it through that furnace. You're gonna burn up in the fire. You'll be the refuge. You'll be the stuff. Oh, we don't want this. You know what I'm saying? I'll toss this out. You know what I'm saying? You'll be the crusty part on the outside of your you get your black crust that might come on the outside if you cook it a little too long. You eat that part. You're gonna chop it off with a knife and then toss it in the trash. That's what you're gonna be. You don't want to be that. You want to be the good part. Everybody's looking forward to having. Right, so let's go ahead and send up word to the Most High. And yeah, we go record. We get the lesson started. Israel, blow trumpet. Guide us in your truth, not in our ways, but in your ways. And let us understand that the truth never changes. Truth is always the same. And what is always the same? What you give us, your word that endures forever. And may we endure forever in your word, God. May we become who you made us to be. May we be molded in your sight. May our minds be molded according to your mind. May we think like you, and then may we act like you. So that way we can be with you, be your friend forever and ever. Endure and enjoy the kingdom of heaven. Enjoy the fruits with the others that love you as much as those that have made you. So, Lord God, we thank you for just your mercy, your patience, because you do not have to be patient with us. You continue to do so. Help us to be built up. Help us grow. Help us be who you want us to be. And we pray for those that are out trying to teach this word out to the four corners of the earth. We pray for the sick and the shut in that couldn't be here, but that would love to join us and follow the serve the Most High. Lord, we thank you for all you've gotten us to. There's nothing for us to do without you. I ask all these things. Like pray. Amen. You know, I just remembered we're supposed to go pick up something. All right. Oh, okay. Perry said the mic's chopping and stop sound sometimes. Here, I'm about to. I can't even. You know, I know I'm about to do. That's what I should do the first time. All right, shalom, shalom. Hey, hopefully the sound is better. Yeah, we just had to discontinue, just get the mics out. And we'll go from here.
Okay.
Hey, all praise the Most High. Hey, Christina filled in for us. He's like, hey, how's everybody's week been? Hey, all praise. Appreciate you, DeCarius, for letting us know. And again, if the sound is okay, put a 1 in the chat. I'm gonna make sure we're good. If your sound is good, put a 1 in the chat. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get to while we wait on that, let's go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 21. Before we get that, as I said, now we're gonna dive into the main part of the lesson. Why doesn't God stop bad things from happening? Why doesn't God stop bad things from happening? We'll get our first video up. Yep, fair use. Oh, all right. And Carrie said, can't wait to celebrate my first new moon. I'll praise the Most High. All right, cool. All right, let's go. Let's get the first one. All right, first video again. Why doesn't he stop bad things from happening? Let's go.
John, I would prefer a world where God had the capacity to guard innocent people from harm and did it. I wish I lived in that world. I wish.
All right, now peep this. He said, I would prefer a world where God defended innocent people from harm. Just keep in mind, notice the language, innocent people. All right. And if in the chat, I want y'all to put, go ahead and, never mind, I ain't gonna do it. Yeah, forget that. Put a 1 in the chat for if you're innocent. Huh? Oh shoot! Oh yeah. No man, I just know what. Oh, I know what you're talking about. It ain't playing this. My bad. Why is it not in the? Okay. All right. My bad, y'all. Let's try this again. It's still.
John, I would.
Well, you gotta be kidding me.
Says,
Oh,
Curious said echo on the video.
yeah. I know why. Because it's not coming through the All right, cool. All right. Let's go. All right, let's go. Here we go.
Would prefer a world where God had the capacity to guard innocent people from harm and did it. I wish I lived in that world. I wish you lived in that world. Tragically, we don't.
Oh, no man. I know why. All right, cool. All right, now we're good.
For a world where God had the capacity to guard innocent people from harm and did it. I wish I lived in that world. I wish you lived in that world. Tragically, we don't. We live in a world where innocent people suffer illness and accident and crime and all sorts of other things.
Now, again, he said innocent people suffer these things. So let me go ahead and take the question from the check. I said, who's all innocent? All right, let me see. Gary said 2. Yeah, and yeah. And Christina said, I don't always exceed and try to be blameless. But here's the thing. We think about innocent, again, we say innocent like everybody's upright. That's kind of the mindset that people have when they say innocent people have bad things happen to them, right? All right, let me jump ahead.
How does my understanding of God sustain us? Because it says to people, God is on your side. God.
Now, peep this. He said, how does my understanding of God sustain us? He didn't say, how is God, period. He said, my understanding of God. I want to write, just always pay attention to the language when people are when they're referring to God. When they're referring to God, they're not referring to who he is. They're referring to him to how they see him through their eyes.
Feels as bad about this, as hurt by this as you do. He's not punishing you. You don't deserve it.
And you notice I said that. Said this God that said that, that you're innocent in the eyes of, he's not punishing you and you don't deserve it. That's what people tell. Now think about this, that narcissistic mindset. Just like you talk about people that break up, they're like, oh yeah, we broke up, man. I was a good man, or I was a good woman. Oh yeah, I was perfect. I did this and that. Mm-hmm. Like in your eyes, yeah, it was all because you're this great person. You're this special one, right? And it couldn't have been you.
The key to surviving misfortune and tragedy is one's own self-esteem, one's own sense that I am a good person, this shouldn't be happening to me.
You see that? One's own sense of, I always want y'all to hear this mess. Now, these are the people that ask the questions about why don't God stop things from happening. This is how these people think. I want y'all to understand this.
Religion should not defend God and justify misfortune. Religion should bind the wounds of the bleeding human being and tell him that God loves him and does not want him to suffer.
Now, y'all, I hope y'all are paying attention. So I'm gonna come back to this. Look, notice how he said religion should do these things for you. Religion. Well, when you're talking about religion, religion is a way of life. Your way of life is not what's supposed to do these things for you. So what you're really saying is your deity, your God, should make sure he does everything that you want. Not that he's expecting, but that you want. You know what I'm saying? He's not doing those things. He's saying everything that you want. The God you're talking about is the God you're talking about is just that's your God. He's not the real God. Like that God, because he's gonna make sure he just acquiesces to all of your feelings and demands and make sure he gives you feather pillows and a comforter and breakfast in bed every morning, because everything has to center around you. Kind of like I talked about last week where I said like people with a selfish mindset expect everything to cater to them. That's the same thing. That's why a lot of these people that have this bad perception of God, and why God do this, why don't God stop bad from happening? If God is good, why is all this evil? Because they live in a world of a self-absorbed world of serve me. Everything must serve me. Everything must do good to me. And if I don't think it's good, then there's a problem I have. You know what I'm saying? There's a huge problem I have. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Katrina said echo. Is that? Oh no, man, that was from earlier. Never mind. All right, let me get back to the video. Because it's the God he's talking about though. And if you got anything too, let me know. Don't.
I was because when he said that, it made me think about this video I had seen. This brother was coming into his house. Well, not his house. It was the girl he was messing with house, and he took the TV away because he bought that TV. Now the context is that it was his birthday, and we know we don't celebrate birthdays, but it was his birthday, and his woman went out to the club with her, her sisters, and was out till like 3 a.m. So, he of course was like, all right, well, I'm taking this TV I bought you, and it's over. And she was, recording him, trying to make him look goofy, but it just made her look goofy at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And it's just like with that right there. It's like, why am I getting punished? I'm innocent.
That literally, like, why this ain't supposed to happen? I did this, I was this to you, and it's like, dang, you realize what you just did, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? But when you got the set, when that's to you, when you think that way, then you're gonna be like, no, I'm getting paid back for all the good I did to you, but actually you didn't do good to me. What did you do to me? You know what I'm saying? You gave me something that. Oh, dang, my fault, didn't he? You gave me something that belongs to the streets and think I'm supposed to be happy about that. Like I got a prize. You gave me some community and I'm supposed to be like, yay, thank you. Like, come on, man. That's crazy. Like it's really, really backwards. Hold on, I'm gonna take this. Hold on, look at that. Before I was ready to pull up the video again. Hold on. And like I said, what Xavier said, he says, Ecclesiastes 17:11 is a heritage, and I'm sure just about everyone got punished for doing wrong in their traditions. So why not God? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. And it's crazy too. We really want to look at it this way. Us going against God, like actually going against our promise we made with him, he's getting punished by us for real, in a sense, because we're supposed to be in a marriage with him. We're supposed to be like showing him right, but he got punished for getting a nation of people that belong to the street. You know what I'm saying? This is what he's gonna. Yes. You know what I'm saying? He got to be embarrassed by that. He got to see all these other nations looking and laughing like, yeah, look at these people, man. They don't know how to act. Just making fun of us. Let's go to the next. Let's pull up the next one. Well, not next one. We'll finish the video. Where we was at. All right. Go up to right here.
Doesn't he? Why does the person die? Why does the accident happen? Why does the rapist mutilate the body of the young girl?
I think that's a good question. And as I see it, there are two answers to that, or two aspects of it to the Bible. One, we're free, and God gave us freedom. And two is that this world is not the whole story. If we assume that this life is the whole story, then it seems unjust. But if we assume there is a life,
Now, I want y'all to peep that. He said, if we think this world is the whole story, if we think this is the totality of who God is, then yeah, God seems unjust according to how all people are.
Yeah.
We're judging God by people that don't follow God. It's not that God is unjust, it's that we are unjustly judging God because we're not judging him according to the measure that he has. It's unfair in that sense.
after this, and that God is not finished with us yet, that he's going to resurrect the dead, that there's going to be a day of reckoning, of reward and punishment.
Now some of the other stuff he's like going to resurrect the dead. I ain't going into all it because you know Christianity hear that and they just start thinking all the deep mystical stuff.
They start rubbing their hands like Birdman.
Yeah, they do. Hey, for real. And that's what they as a matter of fact, hey, soon as they hear that, and they, because the Israelites, we like everything is solid, everything is, it's real. It's not like ain't no magical stuff. Soon as they hear that, they like that's what they thinking. They think they got us in the we got it. We about to see, we ready to show these Israelites what it is. Resurrect the dead. Like, hold on, listen to the rest. There will be a day of reckoning. What is he reckoning according to? The law, statutes, and commandments.
Punishment, then of course it takes on an entirely different color. The Bible.
So when he says once you really look at it through that lens, and the Bible takes on a different color, the God you're believing in takes on a different image. And that's what happened when a lot of us came into the truth. I know I did. The real God took on a whole nother image. It was no longer this smiling, all loving, hugging, flowers and candy, Valentine's God. That God didn't exist no more. It was like, oh, it takes on a whole nother image. Oh, he actually was a certain way the whole time. And I misjudged him. I misread the Most High. And that's my fault. I got to realize what I'm doing. Now go ahead. 1 Thessalonians 5:21. Let's dive into it. Like I said, why don't he stop bad things from happening? Because like the dude said, he said, hey, I would think that God's going to make all this happy. He going to Ren and Stimpy, happy, joy, everybody. Go ahead.
This is the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 1. Verse 1?
No, 21.
Verse 21. Prove all things. Hold fast that which is good.
So here's what we're talking about. Why don't God stop bad things from happening? Well, first thing we got to ask, he says, the scripture's talking about hold fast to that which is good. Now, the question we got to ask ourselves is, what is good? Go Judges 21:25. Because we talking about hold fast to that which is good, right? And everybody is saying, why ain't God stopping bad things from happening? The thing is, what is good and what is bad? We have to ask them that because usually those people have a misrepresentation. Well, of course they have a misrepresentation of God, but they also have a disdain for God. They're looking at him. They got the side eye on him. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They have this feeling of, like I said, contempt. That's the word I wanted. They have this feeling of contempt for God. And they're like, and the scripture's talking about hold fast to that which is good. Well, the question we can ask is, like I said, we're talking about what's good. Well, here's how a lot of these people that say, why don't God stop bad things from happening? They don't realize this is the world we in now. Read.
This is the book of Judges, chapter 21 and verse 25.
Read.
In those days, there was no king in Israel.
Now, right now, in these days on planet Earth, there is no king ruling this place. Come on.
Every man did that which was right in his own eyes.
And that's what goes on. Because there's a supposed king. You know what they say, if you're the president of the United States, you're the leader of the free world, right? Mm-hmm. Well, the president or whatever goes on, what does America say? Seek, or is it like the land of the free, the home of the brave? Free means free to do whatever evil you want to do. That's what it's really talking about. Mm-hmm. Land of the free. So when you got land of the free and the place that's in charge that has the serpent or that dragon to devour the whole earth, when he says you do whatever you want, you're going to receive. Read that verse again, 21:25.
In those days, there was no king in Israel. Every man did that which was right in his own eyes.
Everybody does what they think is good. Everybody has their own idea of who God is and what God is supposed to be like. We're in the age of all people determining good and evil for themselves. Mm-hmm. So when you have 7 billion people on the planet, and let's say 5 billion of them, matter of fact, let's say 6 billion of them all believe that they should do things according to their good. Well, guess what? Don't you think there's going to be people in there that think it's good to kidnap people? Don't you think there's going to be people that think it's good to murder?
Oh, I got a good script to
go ahead.
Go with that.
Let's get it. I'll read it for you.
It's on the lines of, why does God let all these bad things happening, not knowing that it's because these people are deciding to do what is right in their own eyes that all this evil is upon us. So it's in Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 12. Yeah.
All right. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 12. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death.
So that's why there's so much evil or death around us. That's why we got kidnappers. That's why we got child molesters. That's why we got serial killers, because this world is not based on the laws which God gave us in the Bible. Because if this world was based on that, where would be our serial killers? They'll be stoned to death. They'll be dead.
They wouldn't exist.
Exactly.
They would.
So don't blame God because people don't know how to make wise decisions.
Mm-hmm. Or, and I take it a step further. Don't blame God because y'all reject God.
Mm-hmm.
y'all rejecting him, and then y'all blaming it on him. How you gonna reject him and then say God? That's like saying Daddy, don't pay my bills this month. And then when they don't pay your bills, and then you get evicted out your apartment, then you like, Daddy, you got me kicked out your apartment. You told me not to. You didn't want my help. That's what we're doing to God. We're telling God we don't want your help, we don't want your guidance, but then we're gonna get mad when something bad happens with it. That is such a crazed, self-centered, like delusional mindset. And that's why God has to flood the earth again. Except he's gonna flood it with flames. He flooded the first time when it was water. Was it overrun with water? Now it's going to be flooded with flames. He has to. He gotta cleanse this place. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing else left to do besides that. Give me what I want. Give me First Esdras chapter 1 verse 49. Here's the thing. Why he's getting it too. I want everybody to think about this too, because when we talk about everybody having these multiple ideologies, right? We got like multiple ideologies. How do we get somebody to be in charge to set their rules? If we have 6 billion people and all of them got different ways they want to live their life, how do we determine who's in charge? What do? Do we have a vote? Do we have a Hunger Games death match? You know what I'm saying? Where it's just you got all these people running around, and you got people running around. Ooh, killing spree! Like, what's going on? Do we have any of these things? Do we have or we just have a vote? Not vote, but we just have a lottery. You know what? We're just gonna drop. We're gonna have 6 billion names in the lottery, and we're gonna reach in, may the odds be ever in your favor, pull out a name, and be like, "Ooh, I'm in charge now." And then after that person wins this, I'm on the throne lottery. How long do they get to be in rulership? Who determines that? Is it 1 day? Is it 1 year? Is it 10 weeks? What is the time? Like, so now we gotta ask ourselves, what are we making our determinations by? What are we judging by? What do we come up with to decide, hey, this will be the best idea for us? Like, we got to understand it. God has a plan for a time limit on, who's ruling and how long and why they're ruling. But we'll get to that later. But we got to ask ourselves these questions. A lot of times we don't. We just kind of, we come up with just all kind of other foolishness. Go ahead. First Esdras 149.
This is the book of First Esdras, chapter 1 and verse 49.
And this is why, like I said earlier, and I was asking, whose ideas do we come with? Because remember, it said every man did what was right in their own eyes, right? Everybody did what was right in their own eyes. How do we get to this point? How do we get to the point where everybody doing what they want to do? How do we reach that level of stupidity? Read.
The governors also of the people and of the priests did many things against the laws, and passed all the pollutions of all nations, and defiled the temple of the Lord, which was sanctified in Jerusalem.
So what happened is we started now to get rid of the commandments. He says we passed all the pollutions of the nations, meaning we're like, oh, here, all right, here they got some rules, they got some laws. We're gonna do this, and that. Like, we passed the pollutions of the nations. It didn't say we passed the cleanliness of the nations. It didn't say we picked up good habits. Now I say we picked up the bad habits, the pollutions. That's like somebody saying, "Ooh, you know what? I'm gonna walk outside and I'm gonna pick up some trash that's laying on the ground, and some trash with about 10 to 15 doo-doo diapers, and I'm gonna take them in my house and drop them on the middle of my living room floor as decoration." That's what we did as a nation. We brought all this garbage inside our house and said, "Here, this is how we're gonna be. This is what we're gonna do." That was completely backwards. It was upside down, and that's what we did. Verse 51.
Verse 51. But they had his messengers in derision.
So the Lord sent people to say, hey, what you're doing is not making sense. Why y'all doing that? Go ahead.
And look, when the Lord spake unto them, they made a sport of his prophets.
Romans 7:7. So he said, once God did send people to actually try to come and tell them to stop doing it, he said they made sport, or meaning they made fun of them. They made fun of them for saying, hey, let's stop doing evil. You know what I'm saying? He says, we are supposed to hate the evil and love the good. But you know what we did? We was inside of this wickedness for so long, we accepted the wickedness as life. We assimilated into it fully. We bought into it. We believed in it. We said, hey, that's how we should be as a people. Go ahead. Give me it.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 7 and verse 7. What shall we say then? Is the law sin? God forbid.
You see, now we say, hey, we ask the question, is it bad to keep the laws? Because again, a lot of us that be asking the question, why does God allow bad things to happen? We got to ask ourselves this: is the law sin? Is it bad to actually follow the commandments? Go ahead.
I had not known sin but by the law.
You had not known what?
Sin but by the law.
So once you get good erased, because good or what's right was given to us by the law. Once that is erased, then we're like, hey, what is good? Again, because people say, why don't God stop bad things from happening? How do you know what bad is without the law? I had not known evil, but by what was good. God had to tell me what's good so I can know what was evil. Once I don't have that, then guess what? I got to come up with my own imaginations. He says the people that was living without a king do everything that's right by their own eyes. And if you go through the book of Judges, you'll kind of see some of the things that took place. I mean, you see some of the most terrible, ridiculous things happening. Whereas, and I'm just going to name one thing. It was a whole gang of men took a woman, all of them forced her. And then and then the next morning she was dead. And then he had to send parts of her body all throughout the 12 tribes just so he could show, look how evil these people was. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what bad is without the commandments. Mm-hmm. There's commandments talking against certain things that they done, and judgment had to happen. Without the law, you cannot say something is bad. People talk about God he's not stopping bad things from happening. What do you expect him to do? Go ahead, Isaiah chapter 8. Matter of fact, Micah 6 and 8 first. You had something? You had thought?
I was thinking of a scripture that went with that. It was in 1 Timothy. It's 1 Timothy 8 to 9. All
right, I'll read it for you. 1 Timothy chapter. Hold on, what verse? Verse. I mean not verse. I meant chapter. My fault. 1 Timothy chapter 1. All right. Now you good. 1 Timothy chapter 1 verse 8. But we know that the law is good if a man use it lawfully.
Okay, so we know that the law or the commandments is what's good, and it's good if you use them lawfully, if you use them according to the wisdom that comes with the law. Mm-hmm. So verse 9.
Knowing this, that the law is not made for a righteous man.
So the law is not made for Mr. Perfect. The law isn't made for somebody who believes that he's walking in the right path. The law is not made for that man that thinks he's following everything that he needs to follow, right?
But for the lawless and disobedient,
okay,
for the ungodly and for sinners, for unholy and profane, for murderers of fathers and murderers of mothers, for manslayers, for whoremongers, for them that defile themselves with mankind, for men stealers, for liars, for perjured persons, and if there be any other thing that is contrary to sound doctrine.
So even if you are celebrating birthdays, if you are keeping the pagan holidays that's not according to the Most High God, the holidays that he gave us when he bought us out of Egypt, if you're walking unaccording to sound doctrine, the laws is for you. If you are a murderer, the laws is for you. Why? Because the law is good. The law is telling you what is good. How do you know if you're a murderer without the law? Because you're in this world hating your brother and you don't know that you have the spirit of a murderer on you. Mm-hmm. But once you come back to the laws, your eyes are open. Oh, okay, so I actually had a murderous spirit from my brother. If I hate my brother, then that means spiritually I want to kill my brother. I should want to give life to my brother. You're going to learn what's good. You're going to learn how to do good.
Yeah, you're going to learn the direction, but you don't know what good is. Again, I had not known sin, but by the law. So how are you going to talk about something is bad or God letting bad things happen? You got to tell me what bad is. Because now that's the question you got to ask. Matter of fact, go to Isaiah 8:20. When you're talking about God lets bad things happen. God don't stop things. Why does God allow? And I'm gonna pull up another video. Sure, actually, right after this, you're saying God's allowing all these things to happen, but you're not even telling me what you're making your judgment by. You're not telling me where it's coming from. Because if you're telling me it's coming from you, then what's stopping that other person from saying they think it's good? If they're stronger than you or they have more influence than you, then guess what they can do? They can do what they think is good. Yeah. They can gather a whole following and amass an army, and then they can just conquer everybody that does not agree with what they think is good. I had not known sin but by the law. So if you're not going by the law to say something like, oh, everybody knows this is bad. How does everybody know it? Yeah. The Bible, dumbass. Read that.
This is Isaiah chapter 8 and verse 20. To the law and to the testimony that they speak not according to this word.
If they ain't speaking according to what the Bible says, read.
It is because there is no light in them.
There is no Christ in them. There is no good in them. It is nothing but darkness. Darkness is the opposite of light. Light is good. Darkness is evil. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's go ahead and pull this next video. And again, for all my people to say, why don't God stop bad from happening? Here's some of the things. Oh, by the way, I see you, Kenneth. Grace and peace be with you. Happy Sabbath. Happy Sabbath to you. Glad to see you in the building. Oh, she might go all the way back. There we go. Sorry. Do not, God, come on. I know y'all ain't about to do this to me. I thought they was about to commercial me, man. I was about to be mad. All right.
If the police saw a little girl getting raped and had the power to stop it, sat there and watched, and after the rapist was done, they took him to jail, would that be a moral or an immoral action by the police?
No. Now, you see, that's the question he's saying. So if the police see something happening and don't do nothing, will that be good or bad? All right. So he answered immoral.
Okay, so why is it not?
Yeah, he's forming his question because he know he wants. He's like, in his mind, dude is like, yeah, that's what he think. Everybody's questioning God. They're like, hey, in that mind right there, he's sitting there like, oh, I got him. Let's go. Matter of fact, he was sitting there. He was so excited. That's what he thought he was about to do. He's like, oh, I got him. He's staggered. You know what I'm saying? His head's going back and forth. You know, I'm pressing up, down, left, right, X, Y. And you trying to put in your fatality move, right? He think he got him.
Oh, why is it not immoral for God to do the exact same thing?
Okay, good question. Because if you have an opportunity to stop evil and you don't do it, in this situation, you're a police officer and you see something going on and you don't stop it, then you're criminally negligent, right? What about God?
So that's the question. He's like, all right, okay, you do this, you're held liable. First thing I'm gonna say is we are the vessels that's supposed to execute God's judgment on the earth. But we'll get to that because that's one thing. It's the fundamental breakdown most people have. They don't even understand that God is supposed to shine through us. Mm-hmm. We are supposed to represent him. That's why he's so disappointed in us. A lot of the heathen lovers, they want to be like, because we wasn't a light to the Gentiles. That's why we went into captivity, because we didn't teach the Gentiles. No, it ain't why. It ain't why. You can say partially why, as far as we didn't operate. We didn't set a good example as people where everybody would follow us. But no, we weren't supposed to just go out there. No, our job was to actually be an extension of God on earth. So if somebody goes against God, we're supposed to handle it expediently, expeditiously. That's the word I wanted, but we didn't. And so he's asking, hey, this is the question of, if this God is going to allow this, why ain't he doing something about it? Right. Let's go ahead. Let's jump ahead to the video. He touches on a few things because now he's talking about an atheist that asked him a question. Mm-hmm. It was at another place, right? But the same guy's up, but he asked him about, well, never mind, I'm gonna let it go.
If there is a good God, why doesn't he stop all the evil in the world?
See, that's the question. Now, remember, where's the title of class, too? We're talking about, hey, why don't God stop evil?
I said, sir, that is an excellent question. Maybe because if he did, he might start with you and me.
Now, remember, we had the other day, remember what somebody, if God don't do something, and matter of fact, I had put one of the shorts on the YouTube shorts was out. Oh, yeah, it's bad. God should do all this to these people. And I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, you eat pork, too. You know what I'm saying? You break the Sabbath. You do these things. Now, eating pork won't get you the death penalty, but you break the Sabbath. like the man picking up them sticks, you get stoned. So if you want to question how is God not doing these things, like he said, he should start with you then. Oh, why did God? Because if you're judging by God's law, you know what I'm saying? Because you even hear some people that's in the world that, you know, they're antichrist. They'll say, well, doesn't God say, you know, RAPE is bad? Doesn't he say that's bad?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it bad to force someone? Yes, God says it. But God also says, if you work on the Sabbath, you get stoned. He also says, if you don't fast on the Day of Atonement, you get stoned. He also says, if you reject any of these other, you don't keep the Feast of Tabernacles for an ordinance forever. Like these things, he says, he will cut you off from his people.
Mm-hmm.
So you get cut off for doing all of these things. But for some reason, God's going to be like, you know what? It's okay. I'm only gonna execute the judgments on the laws that you think are bad. That's what people really want. But let me go back. I don't want him to say that again because I don't want to lose that.
That's an excellent question. Maybe because if he did, he might start with you and me, because we do evil every day. You ever notice that when we ask God to stop evil, we're always asking him to stop somebody else?
Hey, remember I was talking about self-centered?
Mm-hmm.
You always want him to get somebody else that is impeding upon your life.
We never say, stop me, God. Stop him, stop her. If God wanted to stop all evil in the world, he could right now, but he'd take all our free will away, or he'd take us out.
If he wanted to, he would erase. And here's the thing. God does want to stop evil. They don't realize what they're saying. Matter of fact, hold on. Let's hold this real quick. I'm going to come right back. Go to Amos chapter 5, verse 18. I don't think people know what they're saying. When they're saying, God, do something, destroy all this. Matter of fact, now don't go there. Actually, let's get this one. Go to 2 Peter 3. I like this one. This is one of my favorite ones.
Okay, about their just like the days of Noah, God only sees the few. Don't you want to?
Yeah, nah, but just like the days of Noah, was a good one. Well, he did kind of mention that a little bit. In 2 Peter 2. Man, I ain't went here in a long time. Give me, you know what? Forget this. Go to Revelation 18:8. I want this one. Yeah, let's go here. Revelation 18:8. So when they're saying they want God to stop all the evil, they want God stop all the murderers, stop all the well, they don't say homosexuals, but that's that he don't get it too. Oh man, I forgot I said the H word. TikTok coming. That's all right though. Hopefully they don't catch it. Hey, y'all that's on, don't report me. But anyways, but we have all this same thing. Stop all the pedo, stop all of yes, right. All of those things gotta go. I'm with it. Get them up out of here. You know what I'm saying? But how come they don't realize they're asking for this? Because if you want God to stop all the evil, here's the moment he does it. Revelation 18:8. Read.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 18 and verse 8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day.
No. It's gonna take 10 years.
Therefore shall her plagues come in one day.
No, 1 month.
Therefore shall her plagues come in one day.
In 1 day. You know, he gonna be like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna get all the evil up out of here. Read.
Death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire.
The she is Babylon the Great, which the whole earth is consumed within Babylon's structure. Read.
For strong is the Lord God who judgeth her.
Jump down to verse 10.
Verse 10. Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour.
For how long?
In 1 hour.
When you want God's judgment in how long?
In 1 hour.
In 1 hour, bring it out.
Is thy judgment come.
See, the judgment, that judgment you asked for, that death and mourning and plagues, that's how God is going to get rid of all the evil on the earth. And he's going to do it within 1 hour. Mm-hmm. See, the things people are asking for, they don't realize how scary it really is. They don't get how dangerous it is. They're asking for something that they really know not. What is I'm trying to think what the Lord he said, matter of fact, jump down to Revelation 19:20. Let me get one more. See, when the two men said, hey, we want to sit on your right hand, you know, what the mother's like, hey, I want my two sons to sit on your right hand. And you know, he's like, oh, you know not what you ask. Mm-hmm. You sure you want that? All right, go ahead, Revelation 19:20.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 19, and verse 20.
Let's get to these people that get caught up in that 1 hour. Read.
And the beast was taken.
The beast, which is that great kingdom. Come on.
And with him the false prophet.
Go ahead.
That wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast.
See, all these people that's questioning God all the time and saying, why don't God do this and why don't God do this? They received the mark. They are okay with society now. They have accepted society, although they accept society but question God. You know what I'm saying? That's why he said, for all of y'all in this adulterous and sinful generation, if you deny me, I'm going to deny you before the angels. Read.
And them that worshipped his image, these both were cast alive into a lake of fire, burning with brimstone.
It didn't say cast them in there dead. I want y'all to understand it. He's going to cast them in there alive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Burning with fire.
Anybody ever seen the movie Jurassic Park when Dr. Grant was explaining about the rappers coming up and the little fat Edomite boy was, talking shit?
Mhm.
He said, you're alive when they start to eat you. You know what I'm saying? And you're alive when you get cast into the lake of fire.
Yeah.
We have to really understand the language, the verbiage, the picture he's trying to paint for us, because he's not playing no games with us. Let me go ahead and play on. Oh shoot.
So God allowed.
Oh wait, my bad. I don't want that part. I'm on my phone. I'm tripping. Skip ahead. Because he still had questions. Plus, he kind of looked like somebody, but he kind of remind me. Well, he'd be related to a brother. Yeah, he'd be related to a brother. Well, some of us know.
So could he have done it without having your mom raped?
Well, again, if we're free creatures,
And then he said, because he explained a story about a man that became great, and said that his mother was forced, and he came out of that and became a great man. He's like, is there a way this could have happened without this? Right? All right, hold on. Go. All right, sorry.
So could he have done it without having your mom raped?
He said, could this have happened without that taking place? Right?
Mhm.
well, again, if we're free creatures and he's going to stop us from raping other people every time, then we're not really free, are we?
So he couldn't.
Mm.
You see, yeah. Again, so the people say the people say they say we should have free will, like, could they be mad if God was like just made us do stuff, right?
Mhm.
But then God he just gives us freedom. He's like, hey, go ahead and go do this, go do this, go do this, right? He allows us freedom. If we get the freedom to move around and do whatever, how can somebody have freedom but then they can't do something that, even if it's evil, you know what I'm saying, in your eyes, where actually it'd be in God's eyes? No, it's not free will. That's robots.
Well, and allow us to be free. No, because it's a contradiction to say that God is going to give us free will, but then stop us from exercising it.
Yeah, it is. And it's just a logical fallacy. Let me jump ahead to verse 32.
Doesn't that-
For everybody,
Go ahead.
Oh, my bad.
Nah, you good. Go ahead. What's up?
I was saying, doesn't that kind of go with Sirach 15, where he said, I set fire and water before you?
I know it's 1 second. You got one in Sirach 15 too?
Mhm.
Okay,
Towards the
said
end.
you said which one?
It's towards the end, Sirach 15.
He condemned him, man. Oh yeah, I got it. Yeah, verse 16. He has set fire and water before thee, stretch forth thy hand unto whether thou wilt. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, that's exactly what that is. That's a dope scripture for that. He gave us the opportunity to choose which way we're gonna go. We're gonna go to righteousness or we're gonna go to wickedness. Yeah. That's exactly what it's talking about. Great script.
just believed and nobody did evil. Is that logically possible?
For God, it would
Yes, it's logically possible, but it's probably not actually achievable. Why? Because even God can't do a contradictory thing. He can't create.
See that God can't do a contradictory thing, as we know according to Hebrews 6. It's impossible for God to lie.
Free creatures who are forced to follow him.
Okay.
Any world.
A free creature forced to follow him. I don't even, you know what I'm saying? That's not even how that works.
Mhm.
That's why in the kingdom, it is going to be free creatures that choose to follow him, that want the evil to be gone. Like Paul that prayed, Lord, get this wickedness off me.
Yeah.
You know, he prayed thrice for it. You know what I'm saying? He's like, no, my grace is sufficient. Now you're gonna get that way on your own. And once you get to the kingdom, then you're not gonna want to do that stuff no more. These are gonna be people that when God sets up his world where they're gonna do, the people that's gonna be there, they're gonna do everything God wants them to do because that was their choice. They gave up everything to do what he said. They was like, here, whatever it takes to do what I want you to control me. That's what they said. God, whatever, I don't care what it is, I'll let you control me. Just I know it's gonna be hard to get to that point, but I want you to be that remote control. You know what I'm saying? I'll just go whatever button you press, I'm gonna do it.
God creates is probably going to have people that disobey him. If he
Let's run that back. I want y'all to hear that one more again.
follow him.
Okay.
Any world God creates is probably going to have people that disobey him. If he creates a free universe, he can create a robot world, but then this wouldn't be a moral universe at all. Then would it?
Yeah, you can create a robot world. God can create Cybertron. You know what I'm saying? He can have Optimus and Starscream and all them running around, but he didn't do that. He created people that actually have a direction they can choose. You know what I'm saying? And that's what people don't want to understand. It ain't they don't want to understand it. They want a world that's tailor-made to them. Yeah. That's really what they're saying. They want a world tailor-made to their liking, to their desires. Matter of fact, I like Xavier put Psalms 37:23 says the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delights in his way. Yeah. They're ordered. A good man is going to be like, here, yeah, you tell me where to go. All right, okay. Whatever, I don't know where to go. You tell me, Lord. And he's going to do that. But a man that's not a good man is not going to be ordered. He's going to order his own steps.
Disorderly.
There you go. A man that walketh disorderly. Yeah, exactly. And he says that a man that walks disorderly, it says, put him away. Yep. Give me Jeremiah 23:26.
Jeremiah 23:26.
Yep. Matter of fact, we're going to get to that man that wants to walk contrary to him. And don't realize what's happening when they do these things. They don't realize their time running out. It's running out really fast.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23 and verse 26. How long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophesy lies? Yea, they are the prophets of the deceit of their own heart.
You see that? See, that man's deceived in his own mind. It says the prophets of their deceit of their own heart. It ain't prophets that just happen to accidentally. No, it said they deceived their own mind. Their own mind wants to tell them that God isn't stopping bad things from happening. They want to and again, let me not say their own mind says it, because actually it's true that he doesn't stop bad things from happening, but they want to they want to see God as unjust for how things are going. But then but if God just forced them to do things, they'll be the first ones talking about, I need freedom. I need freedom. Yeah. Think about it. Those same people. Here's how you know that. I mean, straight, I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all now. Here's how you know these people are full of shit. Straight up. These same individuals that do this, if you tell them, and I know y'all met these people. Put a one, and y'all, if y'all met these people, put a one in the chat. The same individuals is all about liberalism and freedom. If you tell them a woman is supposed to be 100% subject to a man and do whatever he says, she's not supposed to have her own mind. He'll be the first one saying she got to have her own mind. She can't. That's not right. You should allow her to be who she is, and God made her that way. So you should let her be that way. That's what they will tell you. But if you say she's supposed to follow everything you say, they're like, no. But hold on, wait. But you want God to make us do everything. What? Because you say you want God to have a world of no evil, of all righteousness, all law-abiding citizens, right? Mm-hmm. Then you're saying you want God to control us. So hold on. So you want God to control us, but we can't control the one. Like, come on.
That's a good point.
I thought you want people to be free. Mm-hmm. You want freedom, or you want, servitude? You want slavery? What you looking for? You know what I'm saying? And what you looking for, God got what you want. That's the thing. Give me 1 Maccabees 1:43. Because here's the thing too. The people that do these things, they never present you with their version of the law. Kind of like I said, don't let your God put on trial. Mm-hmm. They don't never present you. They don't never say, hey, here's what I think the law should be. Here's how I think life should be. Because they know there'll be flaws in their stuff. They know it's going to be contradicting things. Mm-hmm. It's going to be BS in it. They understand that. You know what I'm saying? These people do these things and they spend all this time blaming God. You know what I'm saying? And then really what they want to do is make up things as they go. Yeah. That's really what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? And it's a point that you had made. Remember, we was on the brother chat, and you kind of touched on it earlier. What people got to realize when you blaming God for bad things to happen, here's the truth of the matter. You got to accept the fact that God's not ruling. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and just do this real quick. Go to Leviticus chapter 20. I think that's what I want. You got to realize a lot of people don't realize God's not ruling, because if they realize God was not ruling, matter of fact, let's get this. All right, you know what? I don't even give a damn right now. Go to Leviticus chapter 20, verse 9. And go to two of these.
This is Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 9. For everyone that curseth his father or his mother shall be surely put to death.
Now, hold on. These people that say, why does God not stop evil? You're supposed to, if you're talking about God, if you're talking about the God of Israel, the God of the Hebrews, the only God that exists, the one that owns everything, then you should be like, why does God not go ahead and these same children that you think is wrong if they get something bad happens to these children? These are innocent children. Why doesn't God stop them from getting molested? Oh, okay. Why does not God stop their little children from being disrespectful to their mama and their daddy? Oh, because he should. God's supposed to step in and immediately come in with a giant boulder like off of Raiders of the Lost Ark and just dropping on the boom. You know what I'm saying? If this is the God the God you're talking about, why don't he step in and stop that evil? Why ain't he stepping in? Oh, wait, my fault. He did one time. Oh, little kids want to go up, thou bald head. Oh, God's like, oh, yeah. Well, Elisha was, he was like, hey, man, these little badass little kids, I got you. Bears, go. Hey, God had two. You only supposed to have one Pokemon. God threw out two. Bears, go. Bears came out and he said, eat. And they tore up 42 kids. This is, if you want this God, you need to be consistent. If God was ruling, that's what would happen to these disrespectful, evil kids. If you curse your mother and father, you die to death, right? If that's what should happen. Jump down to verse 10. As a matter of fact, actually, hold on, wait. No. Go to verse 6.
Verse 6. And the soul that turneth after such as have familiar spirits and after wizards to go a whoring
After them.
To go a whoring after
Now,
them.
so the person that goes inside Miss Cleo's little room with the crystal ball, the person, oh, my fault, she got the tarot cards. My fault, she had the tarot cards. Old girl had the crystal ball. Old girl off a Ghost. I forgot her name. But anyways, the one that goes inside and goes to learn from the enchanting wizards or the what are they? Fortune teller goes into the fortune teller, or you go to the tarot card readers. The person that does this, read.
I will even set my face against thy soul, and will cut him off from among his people.
So if you want, again, you said, why is God not stopping bad things from happening? Why is he not stopping them soon as they get ready to walk through the door? Why don't he got like what's something like on why he got a saw trap set up, jigsaw trap just set up? As soon as you walk in that door with the with the dang old tarot card reading later, Miss Cleo. As soon as you walk inside a house, it should be like a saw trap where nails just fly in and just about 10, 20 of them pierce you and kill you. Why don't that happen? If you are looking for God to execute judgment according to his laws, why is that not happening? I don't understand. Let's go to verse 13.
Verse 13.
Hey, honey, watch. Hey, look, it's the Bible, so you can't shut me off TikTok. Read.
Verse 13. If a man also lie with mankind, as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination.
Both of them what?
Have committed an abomination.
Both of them have committed something that is an abomination in the sight of the Lord. Read.
They shall surely be put to death.
Now, if this is what you're saying, people that commit this act, if you got a man that lies with mankind, just like he would do with a woman, they are supposed to be stoned. That is what he said. Read.
Their blood shall be upon them.
And their blood is the atonement for their sin. That's the sacrifice. They the sacrifice now. We don't get an ox or don't. So if you're asking for God to stop bad things from happening, then the way he stops them from happening is he uses us to come in and execute. He has his judges, his officers. These things take place. But guess what? These people ain't going to take place because these people are not, they are not set up to follow the rule, set to do the rules of the Most High.
Oh, that's
go ahead.
Proverbs 29:2. Where's
Yeah, let me read it. Yeah, let's go ahead and read it. Yeah, I love that scripture. That's a perfect scripture for this. Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2. Dang, Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoiceth. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
Wait, does it say that the people rejoice?
When the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
The people kumbaya.
When the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
So you're mourning over the lost lives of, all these brothers that died to police brutality. You're mourning to all the brothers and sisters that died to STDs and died to all these diseases that's out here. But instead of blaming God, you got to understand who's ruling the earth right now. Because we could take the dollar bill and it says, in God we trust. Well, if in God we trust, there should be no pork in this land. If in God we trust, everybody should be celebrating Passover here. If in God we trust, we shouldn't be celebrating Christmas. So who's ruling the earth right now?
Yeah, and that's who's ruling the earth? The people oppressing Mr. Wilder is who's ruling right now. That's what's happening. And that's why we are mourning. That's why we mourning to this day. Because, and he's talking about the people. He's not talking about all people. He's talking about the people of the Lord, people of God, the servants of the Most High, the people that really love him. Not all the people actually are the ones that actually want to be with him and actually rocking with the Most High. They're like, hey, nah, y'all, we good on that. So that's what he's trying to say. The wicked burn rule. And that's why we are in mourning. That's why we're in sadness. God's not in charge. You're talking about why ain't God stopping things from happening? Because God's judges, officers, and rulers are not in place. If you want God to rule, then you better want everything to come with it. Oh, you want people that's going to fortune tellers? All right, then you should be wanting those people to get the same punishment as those people that a person that they assault someone. You know what I'm saying? If someone kidnaps a child, guess what? You want them to have the same thing that happened to the two men that went together and had them a little date and got a little intimate. You should want the same thing to happen to them. Don't talk about God ain't stopping bad things from happening, but he's not stopping them from doing those things. Don't say, why ain't God stopping bad things from happening, but he's allowing people to break the Sabbath every single week. Don't say you want God, because if you wanted God, then you would have God remove those people from the planet. You don't want God. You want you in charge. That's what you really want. You don't want God at all. You have no at all. What's the word? I'm sorry. You have no desire to have God in place. Let's get First Maccabees 1:43. Here's who you want in place.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 43. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion.
Hold on, it says his religion. Who they consent to? Jump down to verse 42. Back up. Yeah.
Verse 42.
I'm sorry, verse 41. I'm sorry.
Verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus, who wrote to his whole kingdom that all people should be one people.
See, really what y'all want is all of us to be one people. See, you want us all to join together and everybody to look at things the same exact way, which we should. But the way we should look at it is the way that God set up. Go ahead.
And everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
See, what you want to do really is join the crowd. That's why I've always been leery all my life of people that just want to join the crowd, or they want to go with what's popular, what they think everybody should like. I've always been leery of those individuals. Read on.
Yea, many also of the Israelites.
Of who?
The Israelites.
Read.
Consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath.
See, people, when you talk to people like it, and here's one thing they always say: if you tell them like, "Oh, well, yeah, God's all right with," and matter of fact, somebody made the comment on a thing when I was like, "It's a sin to eat pork too," or even when you mentioned like, "Well, if you don't keep the Day of Atonement, if you reject that commandment, then you're supposed to get put to death too." They'll be like, "What? You think that's the same as rape?" I'm like, I didn't say that. I just said that God judges it the same. You do what you want with it. He judges it the same. You know what I'm saying? It's the same as actually going to worship another God. You say, I'm going to serve Allah. You're going to buy you a big Buddha statue and bow down to it. You're supposed to get stoned for that. So if you're in agreement with God, he's supposed to step in and stop people from doing certain things, then you should be here, again, agreeing with that. But you're not in agreement with that because what you have done, you've consented into the religion of the king. And the king just says, hey, I don't want too much turmoil in my kingdom. So make sure you don't do these laws that I like. But everything else, yeah, you ain't got to do whatever God told you to do. Don't worry about that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can sacrifice the idols. Y'all can profane the Sabbath. Did it say profane? Yeah, it says profane the Sabbath. You know what I'm saying? This is what was going on. So why ain't he stopping bad things from happening? The same reason he ain't stopping you from breaking all those commandments. Give me Isaiah, no, not Isaiah. Give me Nehemiah 1:7. Nehemiah 1:7. You know what I'm saying? That's what people, like I said, people make up stuff as they go, and they spend more time blaming God instead of accepting our agreed upon system. You know what I'm saying? That's really what they're doing. They got to do that. Oh, yeah, I love that. That's one of my favorite scripts, Christina put up. Whosoever shall break one of these least commandments and teach men so will be least in the kingdom of heaven. Meaning, when that day of reckoning comes, you're going to be on the same side as the people that break the great commandments.
Yeah.
So, what you want to do? You saying you want God to stop bad, and if you want God's system set in place, if you want the rulership of the Most High, careful what you ask for. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 1 and verse 7. We have dealt very corruptly against thee.
We are what?
Dealt very corruptly against thee.
Read.
And have not kept the commandments, nor the statutes, nor the judgments, which thou commandest thy servant Moses. Remember, I beseech thee, the word that thou commandest thy servant Moses, saying, if ye transgress, I will scatter you abroad among the nations.
So you go against what I told you? Oh, I'm going to get you. You're going to be in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Why? Here's the thing. Why are we sinning? Why are we breaking these laws? We supposed to have a sense of urgency. We supposed to be like, man, hey, I got to get right. I got to stop sinning. The Most High coming. You know what I'm saying? But we don't do that. We act like we good. And then we're just stay in our sin. All of a sudden, grace gone. Grace gone, death right there. Why? Because we thought we had all day. We don't got all day. We better get away from what he told us not to do. If not, that time runs out. You know what I'm saying? Read on.
But if ye turn unto me and keep my commandments and do them, though there were of you cast out unto the uttermost parts of the heaven.
See, this is what, as far as he said, why don't he stop bad things from happening? He stopped us from doing bad things. Well, he said he's gonna punish us for doing bad things, so he sent us into slavery. Go ahead.
Yet will I gather them from thence, and will bring them unto the place that I have chosen to set my name there.
I mean, Romans 13:1. You see, we asked why don't he stop stuff from happening? We got to realize that he's the one in authority, he's the one in power, and he's the one that told us what should be done and how it should be done. And we got to be in agreement with it. If we're not in agreement with it, then it's always going to be a bad thing. We have to one, accept our agreed upon consequence. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what, like I said, a lot of people have that resentment to the Most High because we're in our consequences and their life is bad. So since their life is bad, guess what they say? Well, our life's bad is because God's bad. And what did that man say on the very first video? He said, you want to get in your mind that God is on your side and he loves you. And if you got this, God's on your side. Well, if things ain't good, then God must not be doing what he's supposed to be doing. And the other dude asked the question. He said, how come people always say, why don't other people stop doing what they're doing? They don't never say, why don't he stop me? You say, why don't he stop them? Well, we turn to say, why don't we stop God? We fight against God. That's why he said, my spirit won't strive with y'all all the time. We thought we could stop God when, just like the parable of the tenants in the vineyard. You know what I'm saying? He sent the tenants sent all these prophets. Then he said, "Oh, let me send my son." And they're like, "Hey, we're gonna kill him too." And then it was like, "Oh, and if the Lord comes back, the father of those tenants, we gonna kill him too." Like we always we looking for an opportunity to get back at the Lord because we really just hate him. We hate him for everything he does. You know, read that Romans 13:1.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 13 and verse 1.
And this is going with what we just read in Nehemiah, where he said, if you transgress my commandments, he said, if you turn to me, so if you transgress, then you're going to be scattered among the nations. Go ahead.
Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. The powers that be are ordained of God.
Isaiah 45:7. See, it's all set up of God. You know what I'm saying? It says ordained, meaning he put the person in charge that he wanted to be in charge.
Verse 2.
Not right now. Yeah, who he wants in charge, he's gonna put them where he wants them. He's setting up everything the way he wants, and we got to understand that. When we don't understand that, we reject it. Then what we're doing is saying everything that's good has got to be according to our version of good.
So 45 and 2
and 7.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 45 and verse 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil.
You see that? He says, I form the light, which is good, and I form darkness. Then he tells you what he's talking about. The light is the peace, and the evil is the darkness. Read.
I, the Lord, do all these
He
things.
not do some of these things.
All these things.
See, when people question God, they think, oh, when you're saying why does God let bad things happen? Nah, God made the bad things happen. He put the spirit, put it in certain spirits to do what he had them do. It was all up to him. So now you called it, you got an impasse. Do I be mad at him for doing this? Or do I just be like, well, you know what? I can't do nothing about it anyway. Let me just fall back and just ask God, what you want me to do? Because he said already, hey, I'll create peace and I'll make evil. I do all these things. Daniel 4:17. So, and this is even for us that because the other question I forgot that I meant to ask earlier. They'll say, why does God have evil people ruling? If people are evil, why is he letting them ruling? I thought God's supposed to be good. Again, he already told you, I put everybody in power. I formed the light and darkness.
Mhm.
All the powers are of me. So all the people that's in place, the governments, so all those people, I put them there. I voted. He's like, I voted them in. Go ahead.
This is Daniel chapter 4 and verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men.
You see that? The Most High rules in the kingdom of men. See, we got to realize in the place where men dwell, where we live at, our abode, this beneath the firmament, because we're not in the heavens, we're on the earth, we dwell on earth. Hey, God rules on this in this place. Just because now I said God's not ruling, but I was saying his system is not ruling right now, but God's in charge. He's just, he has it in place. Why? Because he's given us grace and mercy. He's trying to give us time to get back on the right side. He's like, I need y'all to get on the right side so I can rescue you. I need y'all to get out that purple storm, in Fortnite. You want to stay in that purple storm. By the time I send back my son, everybody's in that storm. It's going to just be gone. It ain't going to be you lose 1 or 2 health every 2 seconds or 1 second. Nah, it's going to be as soon as he says I'm back, everybody in the purple storm gone. Wiped out. So he's like, I'm waiting for y'all to get out of it. You know what I'm saying? Hurry up and save yourself so you can be safe. You know what I'm saying? And I like to thank comment Kenneman. He said, shall there be evil in the city and the Lord have not done it? See, we got to realize if something does take place, bad things happen. Yeah, it is of him. And we have to accept whatever his plan is. If we don't accept whatever his plan is, then he has no place for us anyway, because everybody that is contrary to him has to go. So even the bad, we got to be accepting of it. It doesn't mean it's the most comfortable thing, but we have to be accepting of it. Go ahead.
Would you keep food in a refrigerator that's not working?
No.
You're going to throw away the refrigerator and get a new one.
It's like, oh, no, we're going to do that. Yeah. Why would I? Matter of fact, let's take it a step further. Would you go to the store, buy a whole $500 worth of groceries and put them in that refrigerator that don't work?
Oh, no.
It don't make sense. Who's going to do that? You're going to, like you said, you're going to replace it. And that's what he'll do with us. If we contrary and we're not functioning how he wants us to, he'll replace us quickly. You know what I'm saying? He don't have time for that. First, what I say, Daniel 4. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Baruch 1:19. So the other question people love to ask too, why did slavery happen? Why would a loving God let slavery happen?
4:19.
Because how would a loving God sit there and watch? Yeah, yo, Jesus, watch me get. I heard people say that. Yo, Jesus watched us get kidnapped and put in slave ships and brought over here. I'd be like, nah, Jesus didn't watch. Jesus was driving the ship. He was the captain. You know what I'm saying? You just didn't know. It was Jesus in whiteface. That's what he was in whiteface on the ship. You know what I'm saying? He was carrying us across the waters. And then he was the same one in white voice. Hey, matter of fact, Jesus put on them triangle hoods over his head and he was riding around. Jesus got in them pickup trucks. Yeehaw! Around us. That was Jesus the whole time. I hope y'all understand that. You know what I'm saying? We have to understand that we talking about him letting bad things happen. Oh, he made them happen. But he didn't just do it just because he hates us. You're going to see why. Read that.
You said Baruch 4 and what?
1:19.
Oh, Baruch 1:19. This is the book of Baruch, chapter 1 and verse 19. Since the day that the Lord brought our forefathers out of the land of Egypt unto this present day, we have been disobedient unto the Lord our God, and we have been negligent in not hearing his voice.
Now he said, hold on. Yeah, he said we're negligent in hearing his voice. And he said, and here's the crazy thing. He said,
to this day, to this day,
since the day we were brought out of Egypt, we was not listening to him. Since that day, we was negligent in hearing what God had to say. Our almighty, all-powerful ruler, who we say is all-powerful and can save us from any bad thing happening, well, he's also all-powerful and can bring us into bad. But read on.
Wherefore the evils cleaved unto us, and the curse which the Lord appointed by Moses his servant at the time that he brought our fathers out of the land of Egypt, to give us a land that floweth with milk and honey, like as it is to see this day.
He said, the curse stuck to us. You know what I'm saying? The curse was hanging to it. The curse is the punishments, all the bad that could happen, which includes slavery. He said all of these things will take place. And he said, again, the same God that brought our fathers out to go to the land of milk and honey. Milk and honey is all goodness, all happiness, right? Jump down to 22.
Verse 22. But every man followed the imagination of his own wicked heart.
We just now went to that earlier. Everybody has their imaginary God in their mind, and that's the one we follow, and that's why he had to bring the punishment upon us. Go ahead.
To serve strange gods and to do evil in the sight of the Lord our God.
That's what we chose. It's the direction we want. This is what we loved. We loved the wickedness. The scripture in Jeremiah talks about we love to have it so. Go to chapter 2, verse 4. Stay in Baruch.
This is the same book, Baruch, chapter 2, verse 4. Moreover, he hath delivered them to be in subjection to all the kingdoms that are round about us, to be as a reproach and desolation among all the people round about, where the Lord hath scattered them.
Where who have scattered them?
The Lord hath scattered
See,
them.
when we talking about why don't God stop bad things from happening, why is he going to stop himself? He's not going to contradict himself. He said, if y'all don't listen to me, I'm going to do this to you. So he's like, hey, since I'm a good man, I'm going to stick to my word. I got to stick to my word because I love y'all so much that I got to make sure y'all understand that I'm that loving man that you can trust. Hey, because if he didn't bring us into slavery, guess what? We wouldn't trust him and we really would never listen to him.
Yeah.
All of us that when I learned that God did all this to us after us breaking his commandments and being evil, I was like, shoot, okay, I trust this guy. Yeah, he gonna do what he say because everything I read in them curses in Deuteronomy 28, he sure did. So he's a man of his word. Like you can read every single curse. You're like, yep, he did that. Yep, that too. Yeah. Damn. Okay. Yeah. This is when I read it should be yokes of iron upon your neck until you be destroyed. I was like, damn, you like, man, he's spitting. He was like the Lord spitting. You really was like, dang. It's undeniable. I still be amazed that when I show people Deuteronomy 28 and it doesn't do nothing to them. Like it's like that didn't register in your head at all. Like that didn't shake you up. Like I'll be like, wow.
Book is sealed.
Yes. Yeah. And that's what I have to tell myself. Like, and that's one thing I should start telling myself, like the book is sealed. Yeah, my mind, I'm just like, dang, come on, man, for real. Scripture talk about it. Unto you, the mysteries are given. Like last week's class. The mysteries are given to some. He's like, hey, to them was not given. And that's why he said he's gonna close their eyes so they can't see. Because he already knows they don't want to follow him. They don't want to listen. They want to go. They want to be contrary. They want to have a froward spirit. You know what I'm saying? Ezra chapter 9, verse 15. So we talk about this bad happening. This bad, it ain't that it happened. We brought it upon ourselves. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened. We brought the evil on ourselves, and then we wonder why it's going on. And then we question him. Yeah, God, why don't God stop the evil? Why didn't God stop all of those? All those other nations, all those Caucasians and Arabs and all those people. Why did he stop them from putting us on slave ships and carrying us out of our land? He ain't that he stopped them. Like I said, he was the leader he was leading the charge.
He was like, Kodak, let me drive the boat.
Yeah. He's like, come on. He had the little sword, the little cavalier sword. Charge! You know what I'm saying? He brought all of them and they came and got us. It was the Lord. Go ahead.
To Ezra
9:15.
This is the book of Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 15. O Lord, God of Israel, thou art righteous, for we remain yet escaped.
Now he says, Lord, you are righteous, meaning you're good. Everything you did is right. Everything you did, I'm pleased with. I accept. You know what I'm saying? This is how he said it. You're not wrong for what you did. I'm not going to say, God, why didn't you stop these bad people from bringing us into slavery? You did what you were supposed to do. Come on.
For we remain yet escaped.
No, and I forgot my bad. I forgot the answer. And he says, for we remain escaped. When he says escaped, he's talking about we got carried into captivity and he kept us alive. We have an opportunity to repent. These other people, he just ended them. He said, now we're escaped. We still here.
Yeah.
and also this same king, he released us to let us go back to build our temple. Go ahead.
As it is this day. Behold, we are before thee in our trespasses, for we cannot stand before thee because of this.
Like he says, oh, we can't even come to your presence because of how we've been. You know what I'm saying? We talking about how bad things have happened. Well, how can us, a wicked people, question a righteous God? You know, when we talk about why he's stopping bad things from happening, we're the wicked people that they're not even judging by what's good and what's bad. We're judging by what we think of. No, he's going to judge good and bad, not us. And we have to realize that. If we don't understand that, then we're going to have a bad mindset, because we think we can judge good or bad. It's because we think that we actually are more righteous or more wise than he is. Give me Romans, 1 Corinthians 1:25. Did you have a thought?
Oh,
okay. Yeah, 1 Corinthians 1:25. It's a toxic mindset. It's toxic. It's very not just self-righteous, but just not just self-absorbed either. You just really, really too high on yourself. It's just really what it is. Go ahead.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 25. Because of the foolishness of God is wiser than men, and the weakness of God is stronger than men. For ye see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble
I'm sorry,
are called.
my bad. Go back to 25. I thought it was something else. I wanted 26. My fault. Go to 25. That's all I needed.
Okay.
That's my fault, y'all.
Verse 25. Because the foolishness of God is wiser than men.
Okay, because God and what we would say stupidity is smarter than us. Go ahead.
And the weakness of God is stronger than men.
And what we think is him not being as strong is still stronger than us. His worst is better than our best. That's the bottom line. On our best day, you know how people say you could beat me on your best day. That's what the Lord's saying. You could on your best day, you can't touch me. On your best day and my worst day, you're not even in my category, you ain't in my stratosphere. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a class by myself. And that's what he's telling them. Like Apocalypse used to tell the X-Men. You know what I'm saying? As far as you are above humans, is how I am above you. Saying that to the mutants. Give me Isaiah chapter 55, verse 8. Hey, Apocalypse was a cocky dude. He was. Hey, and plus I remember when I was younger, I used to be like, I think because we had Apocalypse, we had a few X-Men action figures. I remember Apocalypse like, why he got purple lips and why his lips big? Like, I'm looking back, I'm like, Apocalypse black. You know what I'm saying? He was supposed to be black. They just, of course, he's different. He's like white and purple and blue looking, but yeah, he had big ass lips. I'm like, like, yeah, he black. And he was in primarily in Egypt and never mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead.
You said 55 verse 8.
Yep, Isaiah 55:8.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 55 and verse 8.
Okay.
For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways.
He said, again, like he said earlier, I'm way better than you said. How I do things, how I judge things, what I think is good and bad is way better than, far above what you think is. You can't touch me, is what he's trying to say. You can't touch me. You ain't even in my category at all. Psalm 24:1. And the other question we got to ask ourselves too, when we talking about, like, when we see that he is clearly far above us in knowledge and understanding, how can we believe in good or bad, or our understanding good and bad is something when, again, he's a creator and he knows best. He knows everything works best. I mean, in fact, I'm gonna let this say it. Go ahead.
This is the book of Psalm chapter 24 and verse 1. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof.
There it is. Everything that's in this planet, on this planet, belongs to him. Everything we can look at, everything we think of belongs to the Lord. So when the sooner we accept that, then the sooner we'll realize that everything he has happen, it has a good purpose for it. We may not see it at the time, but it has a good purpose. I'm gonna get to something that has a good has good purposes in it, and it's something that just came out recently. So for all my people that for all my people that kind of remember a little bit of history, I'm gonna go. This is back when I was in 8th grade, so I'm just gonna go ahead and something that took place in the true. They're bringing up the true understanding of what actually took place. So I'm gonna go ahead and show this. Anybody know who Latrell Sprewell is? Well, let's go ahead and hear about my man's.
We're just doing 3-man shooting, and he just comes down. And he's like, "You got to give me more than that."
All right, so it's PJ Carlissimo, yelling at Latrell Sprewell, and he had said earlier, he said he's like a college coach that can come in, they cuss at you and talk all crazy. He said, it's kind of different. NBA, we kind of, some different stuff.
To Spree, and Spree was a worker, so he didn't say nothing. He kept shooting. PJ went away. He came back a couple minutes later. He's like, "If that's all you gonna give me, get the fuck out of my gym."
Oh, my fault. Hey, everybody's watching. I forgot. It's gonna be some colorful language. So if you don't want your kids to hear, he dropped like an F-bomb twice. If you don't want your kids to hear it, get them out of here. My bad.
So Spree said, "Look, man, you say one more thing to me, I'm gonna fuck you up." So everybody kind of was like, everybody was at different baskets. So he came back and said something again. And that time when he came back, Spree just took the ball. He just dropped it. He just walked over to PJ, grabbed him around the neck. So to be honest, the other players, because of how PJ used to talk to him, was like, "Fuck it, go ahead, choke the shit out his ass," right?
Now notice. If now in the normal circumstance, players are gonna be like, "Hey, you tripping, bro? What are you doing?" They're gonna run over and He said they all just kind of, it's like they kind of looked. Everybody ever seen this little meme with Squidward, and he got like, it's like a little, you'll see something crazy happening, then you'll see Squidward with the glasses, put his glasses on, just sitting there, kick back in his little lawn chair. That's what I picture. That's what I picture when I see when he said that. They seen him going to choke Ghost, and it's like, huh? And they sip their tea, what I'm saying? Kermit the Frog. Oh, it's none of my business. This is exactly what took place. This already right now should let you know it's an indicator that this is a slave master that acts a certain way to his slaves. I just want y'all to keep this in mind. Just peep game, but we're gonna continue on. We're gonna let this and I'm gonna skip ahead because
PJ, Gary St. Jean, who was our GM, they meet, they say, "Listen, this happened in-house. We're gonna keep it in-house. Don't nobody say anything to anybody. What do you guys think is an appropriate punishment for him?" Right. So we met, we said 10-game suspension, and he got to go to some anger management classes. So everybody agreed, okay, cool. That's what it'll be. That was going to cost him $1 million.
All right. So he said, that's what we're going to do. They said they made an agreement. The GM and the coach got together and they got some of the players and discussed it. Some of the older players, right? Cool. They came to an agreement. They sat down, Massa and his overseer, came, sat down with the slaves. All right. And they came to an agreement. I want y'all to just remember this. All right. I'm sorry. Let me go ahead. So now he said he's about to go home. He's leaving practice. It's the same day. They just made this agreement, right? He said it was like a 10-minute drive home. What he's gonna say?
So they got pictures of PJ's neck with the fingerprint of the fingernail marks in his neck.
Oh, my fault. I went too far here.
The time I get home, nothing to anybody. By the time I get home, 10 minutes from the practice facility, I turn on the TV. They got pictures of PJ's neck with the fingerprint of the fingernail marks in his neck and everything. And the Warriors got to put their spin on what happened. But
they said the Warriors put their spin on what happened. But the thing is, ain't he a Warrior too? Wasn't he on the team? Did he meet with the GM and the coach? Just what y'all think about this?
But then we got a gag order that we couldn't talk about it. So
now he said they couldn't say that because they agreed they wouldn't say nothing. So now the players are like, all right, we under this. They probably made them sign some stuff. That's probably what happened. They just probably had them come in, made it seem like they had this makeshift agreement, but they made them sign some stuff and they came in. Now, what's funny, we're gonna come back to this. Give me Psalm 28:3. Now, let's keep this in mind. I want everybody to understand this. He's telling the story. This is what really happened between Sprewell and Mr. Carlissimo.
This is the book of Psalm, chapter 28 and verse 3. Draw me not away with the wicked, and with the workers of
Now he
iniquity,
says, don't let me get caught up with these evil people. Don't let them take me, and don't let me get caught up in their mindset. Read.
which speak peace to their neighbors.
They speak what?
Peace to their neighbors.
We're going to make a agreement, y'all. We have a covenant. We're going to do X, Y, and Z. Read.
But mischief is in their hearts.
And that's what he says. He says mischief is in their hearts. Go to Psalm 55:19. As a matter of fact, go to verse 20. This
is Psalms chapter 55 and verse 20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him.
So the GM and them, hey, we're going to be at peace with. We're going to make sure we do right by the players because we understand that coach they really know that coach was tripping.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they asked the players what they thought, because up in the office, they're not going to talk to other employees. They know the other employees been watching stuff play out. But come on, continue.
He hath broken his covenant.
He what?
He hath broken his covenant.
These men broke their covenants. You know what I'm saying? I just want y'all to keep that. And they had a covenant and they said, this is what we're going to do. And they changed up on them soon as they had the opportunity. All right, let's jump on. Let's go ahead. Oh, wait, I'm tripping. I didn't pull it up already. No, I didn't. I'll replay the video and I ain't even put the thing up. All right. So they said they talked to some of the players. They said they're gonna stand with Sprewell, right? Now, well, you're gonna hear what he says to the younger guys.
For y'all that don't have a lot of skin in the game, you might not want to get up here on the stage because it's gonna be the beginning of the end for us.
Mhm.
But we just want to make it clear that
Look at them. You see them all standing back there, and you just look at them, and you just kind of just see like Sprewell sitting there at his press conference, and he got players that's back there that basically saying, "Hey, they showing solidarity with him." Hey, speaking of which, hey, put a 1 in the chat if you wish they'd did this for Colin Kaepernick. All the NFL players, man. Man, come, let me go ahead though.
here to support him. We don't condone what he did, and he's gonna apologize for it, and we standing here behind him.
Oh shoot, no, they didn't. That's all right. I can get out of here anyway. So he said they're gonna stand behind him. They said they're gonna stand with the man that, of course, not just with what happened with the Cubs, but it's like what they seen take place. They're like, this ain't right. And how many players you think gonna put themselves in a position where they can mess up their bag?
Mm-hmm.
We talking about $1 million players here. How many times? So we know it had to be way more that was really, so a whole bunch more fishy stuff in the game, right? But let's go ahead. Let's get the next part. Yeah. I peeped that too. What am I actually gonna mention it later? Kenneth said Joe Smith. Yeah, get up here. All right.
First, PJ Carlissimo. We're in Portland.
All right. So he's saying they're on the road and again, they play a game.
You and Joe Smith just got traded to Philadelphia.
Oh, my fault. Hold on, dang, I skipped the part.
2 weeks later, I'm in the hotel, get a knock on the door. It's PJ Carlissimo. We're in Portland. You and Joe Smith just got traded to Philadelphia for Jim Jackson.
Now, peep this. They already went on the road with the team on the road trip of the game. And he could let them know you got traded. But like they didn't already know or have an idea, But
And Clarence Weatherspoon, and then everybody who stood behind
All traded.
traded or
All
Dickie
released.
Simpkins got cut.
Yeah.
He said everybody that was behind them. Just peep that everybody on that picture traded, and then you look what he says.
I see him. I'm flying to Portland. I see him at the airport. I'm like, me and Joe Smith at the airport. I'm like, man, what you doing here? You got traded too? He was like, nah, they cut me.
And then he said, dude, just straight got cut.
But yeah, that's exactly how it went down. And it was a buildup. It was frustration because the team was losing.
All right, I ain't get the rest. But so, anyways, now going to this, why would the Lord let this happen? Because it's like, dang, the Lord would let this happen. Why? Because we could say, something bad. Why didn't he stop Sprewell from joking a coach and getting suspended for the year, losing out on all that money? Why didn't he stop him from doing that? Because he needed to send a wake-up call. He had to put an alarm clock on all those plays and let y'all know, oh, yeah, y'all still slaves. Y'all still going through this. Yeah, y'all under the curses. The Lord, somebody had to have heard about Deuteronomy 28 during that time period. And even the fact that the players knew it was bad, because they even said, hey, y'all younger players don't do it, because they said it's going to be the end for it. They knew it could be the end. And even, hey, gotta say, man, even hey, Jenna said we gotta do a live on that brother and his wife, Joe Smith. Man, I mentioned some stuff with Joe Smith, but I'm just going, I can't even do it, man. That dude. And the thing is,
the one with the OnlyFans?
yes, OnlyFans. She got man. I ain't gonna say too much on the live, but yeah, let's just say she got X-rated a little bit, but with some people. But anyways, yeah, she But the thing is, that's a proud moment for Joe Smith, though. Like Joe, and they said beginning to end, that could have been, you know what I'm saying? Well, nah, he did play some more time after that. He played up until, because he was on the team with LeBron in the final. So yeah, but still, he got drafted by the Warriors. You know what I'm saying? He was number 1 overall pick in the Warriors. So that now looking back, that was the end of his Golden State tenure, and I didn't even know that. So that's something I learned. But what I'm going to again. Why don't he stop bad things from happening? Why didn't he stop him from just going and putting his hand on his throat? Why did he do these things? Because he needed to put out there, hey, this is what y'all got. What y'all want to do about it? You know what I'm saying? This is the Lord we have. This is the one that shows us that here, this is what will take place. And I want y'all to come back to me, because a lot of y'all have assimilated into the culture of society and accepted things. I don't need that. So here, let me let this bad situation happen to all of y'all. Because every single one of y'all players is going to see this happen. Y'all going to be like, nah, we're going to stand with my brother. We standing with Spree. All right, well, now I'm going to let bad happen to all of y'all too. Going to get all of y'all. But I'm doing it for a purpose. To you, it may seem evil, but actually what he's doing, he did it for your good. Just like Joseph. Give me Romans chapter 7, verse 18.
Is it similar to that scripture where it says this is the condition of the battle?
Yeah, you can use it for that. Yeah, because all men must fight it. And all men, I guess the Israelite men, we all got to fight that battle. Even if we're in what we think is a privileged position, we still got to fight that battle. So,
You said Romans 7.
18. Because what we got to understand, what I want to take out of this is, again, we talk about why don't God stop bad things happening? And we got to ask now, what is good and what is bad? That is what we always got. If we can't answer the question of what is good and what is bad, then how can we question God on good and bad when we don't even know what good and bad is? It doesn't even make sense. Go ahead.
This is Romans chapter 7 and verse 18. For I know that in me, that is in my flesh.
No, this is Paul. He said, here's what lives inside my mind. Go ahead.
Dwelleth no good thing.
Dwelleth what?
No good thing.
Paul, one of the holiest men ever lived, said, "There's no good thing sitting inside of me. No good things coming from my mind." Go ahead.
For to will is present with me.
He said, "For to will is present with me." Go ahead.
But how to perform that which is good, I find not.
He says, "How to do the right thing? I can't find it inside me." So if we got all these people, even one of the holiest men ever, telling me, "Hey, it's hard for me to always do the good thing, do the right thing." And then these bad things are going to be happening. Then you're going to be questioning God for even the good people. So now, what do you like? That you got to ask yourself is, what do you want? What do you expect? Mm-hmm. What do you expect from flawed creatures? He didn't make robots, like he said earlier. He made us. He gave us free will to make choices. So what we have to do to even do good, we have to overcome all of this evil that's inside our minds that does not want to make the right choice. Mm-hmm. This is what we up against, and that goes back. Now, what you just now quoted. This is the condition of the battle. That we have no good thing dwelling in us, and we're going to always have to fight against it. You know what I'm saying? So when you're talking about you want to do good, you got to ask yourself, what is good? Because you can't say God's he's allowing bad things to happen to people when you don't even know what's good, because you don't even know what you determine good or evil by. If you ain't got you have no ruler, no barometer to measure what's good and what's bad, what's right and what's wrong, righteous and unrighteous, then might as well stop talking, because it's kind of a waste of time. Just be quiet and, go sit at the kids' table and let the adults talk. All right, so let's go to Philippians chapter 4, verse 23, and we get ready to close out. And if you got anything, let's go.
I would just say, with free will comes emotions, comes temptations. Because if we were all programmed to do the same thing, if we were all programmed to never sin, then we wouldn't know what a temptation is. So that's why in that scripture, You know, Paul knows that he has free will, but he needs to know what it is to do good. So being in this walk, we have to understand that we have to overcome these temptations that come with our free will, that come with the option of a choice. You know, fire and water is set before us. So make sure that you walk that straight path, because this is the condition of the battle, that we have to fight these temptations. That's why the Most High told Paul in 2 Corinthians 12 that I won't remove that thorn from your side. I think you quoted it a little earlier, where Paul asked thrice. And, you know, the Lord said no, because that's the condition of the battle. You have to overcome these things. And a lot of people don't. And that's why this world is so evil. That's why it's so wicked, because these temptations are strong and most people give up. So we got to endure.
Yep. As you said, there's a thorn in the side, and it goes back to Genesis 6. And he says, all evil thoughts are dwelling in our minds. So you got all these people with evil thoughts dwelling in their minds, and they're trying to overcome them. And then you're like basically mad that God isn't doing something. Like, then again, don't be mad about it. You just got to understand that's what it is. So let's continue to walk this walk. Hey, all praise to the Most High for, you know, oh, sorry, wrong one. For, hey, successful. Hey, let's continue to have a successful Sabbath. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure we get the Lord a hand for just continuing to love us. Hey, Lord's will, we can, like I said, enjoy the rest of the Sabbath. Enjoy the food, the time, the fellowship, you know, thing to do with your brothers and sisters. And let's just continue to be who he intended us to be. Hey, and tomorrow is the new moon. So make sure you have your stuff prepared. Yeah, like I said, which if you didn't prepare before yesterday, then you know what I'm saying, you asked out. So now you ain't though. If you got brothers and sisters in the walk, guess what? Go to one of their houses. They have some extra stuff for you. You know what I'm saying? Make sure. Yeah. So hey, you forgot? Yeah, raid your brother sister's house. Now, if you forget 2-3 times in a row, then hey, the person, if they raid your house again, pretend you ain't home. nah, but all jokes aside, but for real, let's make sure we look out for each other though. That's one key thing, because even when things get rough, we should always be able to know we can lean on each other, brothers and sisters. Got to be able to lean on each other, but we don't lean on each other where we put all our weight on them and then put 200 pounds on top of our back and we have extra weight on them. They're gonna fall over with you, or they're gonna move out the way. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, I used to be the one to fall with you. Now I'm just gonna move. I'm gonna let you hit the ground. Nope. So let's continue to do what we do, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I love y'all. Hey, like Brother Xavier said, hey, peace be unto the 12. You know what I'm saying? As Lil John would say, get crunk. We just enjoy the Sabbath. I love y'all. Shalom, Israel.
I ain't read.
Oh yeah, my bad. Yeah, my bad. Philippians 4:23. My bad. Yeah, read that.
This is the book of Philippians, chapter 4, and verse 23. The grace of our Lord Jesus Christ be with you all. Amen.
Hey, can you hear it? Like his mercy, his patience, his the understanding, and that way it walks with you. So that day, when it comes, you will be able to escape all of the danger in front of you, and you don't have to be in front of in there with them. Because what does that grace do? That grace prevents you from going into your wicked. It's supposed to prevent you going into wickedness and to turn into your righteousness, because you were chastised. So I had a few more chapters I want to touch on in here, but I had to leave them alone. We may visit the conversation somewhat later on, but I can't. I'll be honest. That's one of my pet peeve questions. Is like, why don't God stop this? I really dislike that question. Like, not if it's a genuine question, but the people that do it, it's like they're mocking and scoffing at God, and I just
some of the most evil people too.
Yeah, it really is. You know what I'm saying? And I can't stand it. So y'all gotta stop that. Hey, brother Larry, grace and peace. Hey, have a happy Sabbath, bro. Happy Sabbath. Hey, we waiting on you to come back. Everybody put a 1 in the chat. Tell Larry to bring his ass up in here. Yeah. Hey, brother Kenneth, same thing. Hey, shalom, happy Sabbath. Hey, put a 2 in the chat. Tell Kendall to bring his ass down here. Yeah. South Carolina ain't that far. You know what I'm saying? We done drove up there twice. You see, and brother DeCurry say shalom. Hey, have a happy Sabbath. Hey, Curry say he say looking forward to Passover, so he want to come try and get down here. So
okay.
Yeah, so
towards when you get down here, brother.
Yeah, it'd be dope if so. It'd be dope. So you know what I'm saying? Let's continue to DeCurry say he said he put 12. He said 12 tribes standing for both of y'all get down here. All praise be to the Most High though. Hey, love y'all, Israel. Again, shalom. Peace be to the 12.
Shalom.
Enjoy.